Hello guys, in the last videos we have seen what exactly the functionality of the toString method and how to override toString method. These concepts we understood in the last videos. Now in the present video we are going to see another new concept with respect to the objects. Right, that the topic is which one? How many types of objects are existed in Java? What exactly the types of the objects are existed in Java? In Java there are two types of objects. In Java there are two types of objects. What are the two types of objects in Java? Right, sir. Number one, immutable objects, and second one is which one? Mutable objects. First one is immutable objects and second one is which one? Immutable objects. Overall there are two types of objects in Java. First one is immutable objects and second one is which one? There, mutable objects. This is one of the famous interview question in outside. Very important interview question. Every interviewer is asking this question. Without this question, no Java interview is going on in general. What exactly this question can? That question is, so what is the difference between immutable objects and mutable objects? What exactly the difference between immutable objects and mutable objects? Answers are very clear. Try to recognize this. Immutable object is a Java object. It will not allow modifications on its content. Immutable object is a Java object. It will not allow modifications on its content. If we are trying to perform modifications over the immutable object data, if you are trying to perform modifications on the immutable object data is allowed for modification, but the resultant modified data will not be stored back in the same original object, but the resultant modified data will be stored by creating another new object of the same class. Understand this clearly? Immutable object is a Java object. It will not allow modifications on its content. If you are trying to perform modifications over its content, data is allowed for operations, data is allowed for modifications, but the modified resultant data will not be stored back in the same original object. The data will be stored by creating another new object of the same class. This is what exactly the meaning of which one? They know, immutable object. So answer is very clear. Immutable object is a Java object. Okay, fine. It will not allow modifications on its content. It will not allow modifications on its content. If you are trying to perform modifications on its content, then data is allowed for modifications, but the resultant modified data will not be stored back in the original object. The resultant modified data will be stored by creating another new object of the same class. That's it. This is what exactly the meaning of which one? Immutable object. Immutable object is a Java object. It will not allow modifications on its content. If you are trying to perform modifications on its content, then data is allowed for modifications, but the resultant modified data will not be stored back in the original object. The resultant modified data will be stored by creating another new object of the same class. That's it. This is what exactly the meaning of which one? Immutable object. Example for immutable objects are which one there? All string class objects. All string class objects are immutable. All string class objects are which one? Immutable objects. All wrapper class objects, wrapper classes. In Java there are 8 number of wrapper classes are available. Byte, short, integer, not integer, long, float, double, boolean, character. All these are which one? Wrapper classes. For each and every primitive data type, a separate wrapper class is provided. So all wrapper classes objects are immutable. All these are which one they know? Immutable objects. Here also all wrapper classes objects are which one they know? Immutable objects. Right, so these are the examples for which one they are immutable object. So data is not going to be changed. Data is not possible to change in an object. Such type of objects are called as which one? Immutable. That's the point here we have to understand. But what about this mutable nature? What exactly the meaning of this mutable actually? Mutable objects are the Java objects. Mutable objects are the Java objects. Okay, fine. Which are able to allow modifications, on their content directly. Yes, sir. Mutable objects are the Java objects which are able to allow modifications on their content directly. Direct modification we can do inside this which one they know? The respective object here. So such type of objects are called as which one? Mutable objects. Immutability nature, unchangeable. Mutable nature, changeable. That's it. This is what exactly the difference between immutable object and mutable object. Now here, what are the examples for these mutable objects? No. Point is, by default, all Java objects are mutable objects only. Mutable objects only. Still, if you want to go for any example for this mutable, string buffer. String class objects are immutable, but string buffer is which one they know? Mutable. String buffer is a mutable. Like this, a number of examples are available. I said to you clearly, by default, all Java objects are which one? Mutable objects, but only few objects are which one they know? Immutable objects. So string class objects are immutable objects and string buffer class objects are mutable objects. Right, so the same answer we are able to give for another question also. What about this another question? No? Here the present question is which one they know? What exactly the difference is between immutable objects and mutable objects? This is a question here. Same question we are able to ask in another direction also. That is which one there? What exactly the differences between string and string buffer? What exactly the differences between string and string buffer? Right, answer is very clear. Same answer here I can specify there. String class objects are immutable objects, where immutable objects are the Java objects which are not allowing modifications on its content. If you are trying to perform modifications over the data is allowed for modification, but the modified resultant data will not be stored back in the same original object. That modified data will be stored by creating another new string object. Good. Then another point is which one? What about the string buffer there? String buffer class objects are mutable objects. String buffer class objects are mutable objects which are able to allow modifications on its content directly. Modifications are allowed directly on its content here. So this type of objects are called as which one? Mutable objects. What exactly the example for these mutable objects? Actually, by default, all Java objects are mutable objects only. So example point of view, if you want to go there, string buffer. So string buffer is a mutable, whereas string is which one they know? Immutable. Right, sir. I am asking one question to all of you. Try to understand it now. What exactly my question here? Now tell me, which object data length is fixed? Which object's data length is a variable? Which object's data length is fixed? Which object's data length is variable? So immutable object's data is not going to be changed, so its length is fixed. Whereas mutable object's data is changeable, so its length is variable. Understand my point now? So immutable object's data length is fixed. Once what exactly the data length here we specified there initially, same length is available. But immutable object's data length is which one? They know variable. Right, sir. Now this is what exactly the difference between immutable objects and mutable objects. Indirectly, string and string buffer. Now I want to show practically what exactly the difference between string and string buffer. I want to go for an example here directly now. Now let us check this here. A simple program here I want to write now regarding the string and string buffer. Simple analysis part here I want to provide. Try to recognize this. Let's say for example, I want to take string str1 is equal to new string of, here I will provide Durga, space I provided for example. String str1 is equal to new string of Durga. Next one, string str2 is equal to str1 dot concat of like software, here I want to provide. Next one is string str3 is equal to str2 dot concat of solutions. Here we have to provide. So finally concat operation here we are performing. What is the purpose of this concat method here? The purpose of this concat method is, in str1 already we have Durga. To this Durga we want to append which one? Software. Good. Here str2 dot concat, in the sense in str2 we thought Durga and software is available. To this Durga software I want to append which one? Solutions. For appending two strings, here we are going to use which one there? Concat method. Okay, fine. After completion of this, just I want to display all the values here. Sys.out.println of str1 here. Next one is sys.out.println of str2. Then after that sys.out.println of str3. Like this. After performing all concatenation operations only, we want to display that exact values here. Which values here we want to display there? No. str1 value we want to display, str2 value we want to display, and str3 value here we want to display. This is a small program here we have to understand. Next one is, after completion of this, I want to prepare which one here? String buffer. We know already string buffer here now. So string buffer objects here I want to prepare there. String buffer sb1 is equal to new string buffer, like this. Here we are going to use string buffer. Now inside this I want to keep some data. Which data here we want to provide there? The data will be like which one can know? Durga. Space here I want to provide. String buffer sb1 is equal to new string buffer of Durga. That's fine. Next one is string buffer sb2 is equal to sb1 dot. Understand this clearly. In the case of string class, concat method is available to append data to which one can know? A particular string, existing string object content. To perform concatenation operation, concat method is available in the case of string. But in the case of string buffer, in place of this concat, we are going to use which method? Append method here we are able to use here directly now. In place of this string buffer, we are able to use which one there? No, append method. Append of, now just I want to provide which one there? No, some data. Which data is available here? No, already Durga is available here. Now this time here we want to provide which one there? No, software. Space here I want to provide now. So what is the meaning of this sb1 dot append method here now? Already in sb1 we are having Durga. To this Durga here we are going to append which one there? No, software. So to the Durga we are going to append software. In which manner? In a mutable manner. In a mutable nature we are going to append software to the Durga here. That is one point now. Next one is which one? Then after that I want to provide which one there? Now string buffer, now sb3 is equal to sb2 dot, here again here we have to provide which one there? No, append method here we have to provide. Append of, here we need to provide which one there? No, solutions here we have to provide there. No. Solutions, that's fine. Right sir, now here in case of string we are using concat method. In case of string buffer here we are using which one there? No, append method. So here what we have to do, we need to understand the difference between this concat and append also. Concat is able to append two string values in immutable nature, in as per immutability manner. As per this immutability nature, two string elements are going to be appended in the case of concat method. But in the case of append method, basically this append method is available inside this string buffer. This append method can be used to append the two string values as per mutable nature. In the point of this mutable nature only, that the two string values are going to be appended in the case of this string buffer here by using this append method now. Right sir, then after completion of this here what we have to do there? String buffer here values here we provided now. Then after that here we have to provide which one there? Now system.out.println of sb1 here we are providing. Next one is system.out.println of sb2. Even after performing this append operation here we are trying to display this sb2. Next one is system.out.println of sb3. Here we are able to provide. Now observe this clearly. Now string buffer objects here we have taken, we performed these append operations. After performing these append operations here we are displaying which one there? No, that sb1 value and sb2 value and sb3 value. Overall if you observe this program here, I have taken string objects and I am performing concatenation operations. After completion of this concatenation operations here we are displaying that each and every string object. Overall, we thought 2-3 types of objects here we are getting. str1 referred object, str2 referred object, and str3 referred object. All the three objects data here we are going to be displayed after performing concatenation operation. Similarly, here if you observe this string buffer elements here, so overall 3 string buffer objects we thought here. Now inside this here we are getting which one there? All the append operations, no? After performing these append operations here, we are getting which one there? No? We are displaying SB1 value and SB2 value. Next one is which one? SB3 value, no? So now here I want to execute this program here, but between string operation and between string buffer operations. That means concatenation operation of the string and append operation of the string buffer. After completion of in between these two, I want to have one line space here. Now try to recognize this. What exactly the output here we are expecting from this now? What exactly the output here we are expecting from this now? How string manipulation, that means how string class concat method is providing manipulation. How string buffer class append method is providing manipulation, that we are going to understand now. Let us see that output from this particular program here. If you observe this output here clearly, from string class, what exactly the outputs here we are getting? First output is Durga, second output is Durga Software, and third output is which one? Durga Software Solutions. Now here in the case of the string buffer, first output is Durga Software Solutions, second output is Durga Software Solutions, and third output is which one? Durga Software Solutions here we are getting. So this is what exactly the outputs we are getting. First 3 outputs we are getting as per immutable nature, and the last 3 outputs here we are getting as per mutable nature. So that internal flow of this total program I'll explain in the next video. Now try to check that.